You're listening to the SojuTalk Nation Podcast, episode 43. On today's episode, Zondy and Nina joined the show to discuss January in SojuTalk music. So sit back and chill with friends. You're listening to the after show with the SojuTalk Nation. Welcome to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, a chill discussion on this month in the SojuTalk Nation. We're recording on Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. I'm your host, Crispy, and joining me this week are two amazing, excellent human beings, people I aspire to, people who accentuate all the goodness in the world. We have a British lad himself, Zondy. Hello, sir.
How dare you? How dare you?
I apologize. I can't get away from the bit. I apologize. But
hello, Crispy. I hope you're having a lovely day.
I'm having a fantastic day that you're here. But we're also joined by someone who is kind of a stud, kind of the most adorable human being I think we've ever met. The one and only Nina. Hey, Nina.
Don't make me laugh. I'm very happy to be here with two of my favorite people. So thank you.
That means a lot. I am visibly just like fulfilled with joy to just be on the show with you guys today. Just because we chat quite often on Discord, and it's just nice to hear your voices. Honestly, we got a lot of music to cover for January 2022, the start of the year. So the crew went over a number of songs this month. A couple of weeks where we had 4 songs. Even during the gap week, I think we still managed, roughly about 20 songs this month. But we're going to try to break it down a little bit more concise way, more directed to how we felt about the songs and kind of what we thought. So the structure this month will be Nina, Zondy, and myself will be giving a top 3 ranking of our 3 favorite songs to start the year. If there's some overlap, we have some alternates, but for the most part, we're going to talk about why we chose them at that spot, see if there are any differences, and then kind of just go into what the crew discussed over the course of the month and how it's changed. Or hasn't changed. Because I think it's nice to let songs and music kind of sit and see if certain trends stick around, or if they were kind of a flash in the pan, or if they hit differently for different people. So let's jump into it. Let's start with Nina, the wonderful, amazing Nina. Hello, ma'am. Your number 3 song for January 2022.
Yeah, so I was saying earlier, it was kind of hard for me to narrow it down. My best friend and I have a Spotify playlist where we put all of it's actually just title tracks. And for January alone, we have 26 songs on here. So yeah, that's 26 title tracks that we liked in January. So it was really hard. My third place, though, might be a surprise, might not be a surprise, is actually Ruby by Woozy of 17.
Really funny, Nina. I also happen to have Ruby by Woozy from 17 at third on my chart.
I knew it.
Okay, and I have to interrupt both of you because this is the song I told you guys pre-show that I hope is number 3 for both of you.
See, we know each other so well. We just our taste is too similar. Yeah, it's. The thing with 17 for me, as a lot of people probably know, is they're my favorite group. So it can be difficult for me to be objective when it comes to 17. I'm kind of at the point with them where they give me something at 17, so I'm happy and I like it. And but with Woozy especially, we've been waiting for a Woozy solo for a long time. We got Hoshi's solo Spider last year, which is really good. And we've been waiting a long time because they told us when Spider came out that we were going to be getting solos from all 13 members. And now here we are a year later and we've gotten 2. So I don't know if we're gonna have to wait 13 years to get all 13 solos, but when they first announced a Woozi solo, I thought it was going to go one of two ways. I expected either his concert solos are usually a ballad, an emotional ballad, or I thought it was going to be like a sexy R&B song. So I was really surprised when we got like a more rock inspired track. And the fact that it's all in English as well, really surprising. Woozi is not known to be one of the English speakers of 17. So, the little guy's full of surprises. The song itself, like I said, it's hard for me to talk about 17 music without getting without being a little too extra. But I sorry, go ahead.
We'll get into some of the elements of the song. So we do have like an emo rock take. But visually, I feel like it's very fashion forward, almost like a runway punk aesthetic. And kind of the thing that stood out to me that Warren mentioned on the main show is that there's a ballad fake out at the beginning. How did you feel about that when it comes up a little bit slower? You're kind of anticipating like, okay, some emotion, and all of a sudden it hits you with these instruments and this feel that is very different from your initial take on the song. And it spins you into this different world of Woozi being very mysterious and kind of edgy. That suit, that red velvet suit, it's ingrained in my brain forever. How did that all hit you, Nina?
Yeah, well, like I said, I was kind of anticipating a more ballad track. So I think that switch up really just added to the whole effect of it just hits you harder. You're not expecting rock to come out of this little guy, and him playing guitar as well. We love seeing him play instruments and just show how really multi-talented this guy is. The lyrics, I gotta say, a bit corny in spots, but it's K-pop. You gotta
they lean into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Zondy.
No, I was just gonna say, we're gonna be seeing more of that later, but this song really surprised me as well with the ballad fake on. And then I realized it was in English, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm not Nina. Our tastes are similar, but I'm not Nina. I'm not this huge 17 fan. I knew Woozi is like, he obviously worked on a lot of 17 stuff. On top of that, my personal attachment to Woozi is that he wrote Downpour, but for IOI, as well as Love Rum Pum Pum for Promised Land. But when I listened to the song, it hit me with a ballad fake out, and then the guitarist came in, and all of a sudden I was like, wait, why am I I was enthralled, and then I listened to the way his voice was processed, which I thought was really interesting. It was like this weird high pass filter. It sounded like his mic was being put through a guitar amp. And my first thought was, oh, this is the Strokes. Is this it by the Strokes?
Yes.
But more people, I think a lot of people also said Watermelon Sugar, which also made sense. It's also similar. And I really like it. I'm a big fan of the Strokes, so I think it's very clearly that inspiration to me, especially with the instrumentation. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
The distortion was probably the most interesting part of the entire song, right? Because I had to listen to it several times, once just on my computer speakers, and then just a number of times through my headphones. And then I finally understood what Doug was trying to say, that they sound different, that the pronunciation sounds different. Because initially, I am pretty passive with how I hear the song until I really sit down with headphones. What about that distortion really stood out to you guys? Go ahead and talk about that a little bit more, because I think that is the most unique part of it that I can't really put words to, because I think that's like the most musically creative part of the song, where it might be beyond my ability to speak about the music, but how did that all come together? Understanding who Woozi is and kind of his history with music and his artistic direction in the past.
Yeah, it's definitely different from what we hear from 17, and like Zondy was saying, it's kind of that 2000s, not quite grunge, but whatever you would call that. Yeah, and it just really it's a different sound that we haven't heard much in K-pop. I think that's what makes it stand out, and that plus the production on the guitar it's almost like a little bit grittier than the usual clean style that we get from 17. So it's just nice to see all these different sides of Woozi and the fact that he can rock all of them.
I think gritty is like the perfect way to put it. It's gritty, but then still within the sphere of the fashion visuals of what they're trying to say in the music video, right? Because they're in essentially a basement, right? No windows.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he's like in a bathtub a few times. But there's a lot of.
I love the bathroom.
The bathroom is amazing. He's just in it.
They put him in a pit, so he's even shorter than the other dancers around him.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until Doug mentioned that they use his height in different ways to kind of like put him in the foreground and the background for the models.
Yeah, I'm paused in a frame where it's like shot from below, so it looks like he's taller.
My boy is 5'3".
He's 5'3".
Yeah.
Huh.
His official profile height, I think, is 5'5", but
I just also I just want to point out something before I lose the thought, where we're talking about obviously vocal processing, and I think I always love when producers are happy to put a lot of effects on voices, not in the hype way, but more in the Woozi way, because like a lot of the time it's like you want to keep effects off of the voices to try and sell the uniqueness of your member's voice. But when they manage to pull it off like this, or I think I'm gonna shout out one of my favorite K-pop songs, "Lunatic" by Odd Eye Circle. It was for me like one of those times where they managed to still sell the uniqueness of a group or sell like a certain aspect of a member despite or on top of really like just like putting a ton of effects on their voices. I don't know. I think it's really cool.
I think it plays into the characterization of what the music video was trying to represent. Like you said, Nina, it's like very gritty and edgy, but also kind of dark and grungy. But still has the same K-pop flair to like that energy spike within the song, right? Yeah, and I think, like you said, like sometimes the distortion or sometimes putting too many effects on a voice can be too cleaned up. But I think in this case, where it's playing very much into this is the concept. It's supposed to be a little bit strange. It's supposed to take you into a different direction. I think it all works really well, and it surprised me how much I like the song because. I think we've all established that I don't listen to very many boy groups and male singers, but this one really hit me. And I was just like, I'm surprised in the best ways.
I'm very glad to hear it.
Yeah. Nina,
thanks for listening.
Of course, for you, Nina, anything. Nina, any closing thoughts on your boy from 17?
No, I'm glad to hear that you guys feel the same. Thanks for keeping me on track when I get going about 17. But yeah, it's just in general, I've loved the rock influence that we're starting to see in K-pop, and I hope that we see more of it this year.
Yeah. I think was that one of Warren's predictions aside from the chill theming of songs?
I think so.
Or is
I don't think he said rock.
Was it Doug who said rock?
I don't think so.
One of them said rock.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm making that up in my head. Maybe I'm projecting myself into it.
Love Song was my personal 2021 favorite song. Love Song by TXT. So
it's good on me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Well, okay, top 5. I haven't decided on my top 1 yet, but
that
I really like that from TXT.
May not be my favorite boy group song of last year,
but
I don't
definitely my favorite boy group song.
So I mean,
for sure.
All right,
and that's of course not counting 17 because they're always first place.
Yeah, I have to take away Shiny from mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So we got our biases. We got our favorites.
Yeah. Can't help it.
All right, Zondy, you're up next. So your number 3 was also Woozi. So you can either go for an alternate or you can go right into your number 2 ranked song of the month.
I'll pop into an alternate because I'm gonna. I mean, not because, but I do think this might be in your chart, Crispy, and it's gonna be Woo Catch the Stars.
That is a great selection. That is not on my list.
Wow, honestly, I don't have too many notes on the song. It's catchy and it's well produced, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't listened to any I was gonna say many, but I realized I haven't listened to any other Woo tracks. But this really caught my attention. I, I, I mean, it's one of those songs we talk about this a lot, where it's very uncontroversial, and it's hard to get mad at it, but it's also gonna like, I don't know, fall off out of my brain in a couple of weeks, I think. Whereas other songs, which I think maybe are higher up in my chart, will not. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good song.
Yeah, Warren put it best on the show. It's very clean. It's very non-offensive. It's very fun and light, and I think they characterize the high teen concept very well. One, because I think they are actually that age, so good job to the girls. And two, I think just the idea of daydreaming and catching the stars and just all the fun, fantastical ideas of what it means to be a teenager and a kid. I think we're all captured well, not just in the music video, but with the song. It's just very catchy. There's a certain energy and a bounce to it, and it plays into retro. Just like the trend has been over the past year and a half, but somehow in a unique way where it's specifically them. And I can point out this song as being the Wua song, as opposed to just like, that's the other retro song of 2021. Nina, did you have any thoughts about this song? How did the song hit you when you first heard it?
Yeah, I've been a bit of a Wua liker since they first debuted. Their past stuff was definitely more divisive. A little bit quirkier. I really like Bad Girl, but I know a lot of people, especially Bad Girl, has this chanty bridge that a lot of people find a little bit strange. And so this is a more traditional girl group song compared to what they've done in the past. And like Zondy said, it might not be the most memorable. Like I might not come back to this in 5 years and be like, wow, that's a K-pop classic. But it's still a really nice listen, and it's nice to see just, you know, as much as we all like the experimental new stuff, sometimes it's nice to just have like a sugary K-pop song. And like you're saying, the music video is very cute as well. Like they're in high school, but they're daydreaming and they're in space and stuff. And it's just it has that like nostalgic feeling of old K-pop, and it's really nice.
It's one of those rare examples, and I hate to say it because it's a cliche, that less is more. Where it's like, it's a very clear title, like Catch the Stars, like it automatically transports you into this idea of dreaming, right? Looking forward to something. And then it's just, they put them in high school, they put them thinking about space and just things that don't have to do with the classroom, but you know, they're together and they're friends and just running around fields and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I did that once. And it also brings back a lot of feelings of old K-pop, you know, kind of at that point in your life when you find K-pop. For me, like early 2010s. So definitely feeling that kind of way. And I don't know, it's just one of those very happy songs that fits counter to what the trends have been, whether that's emo rock or hyperpop or experimental stuff that we've got with some girl groups. Yeah, and I think it's just a very safe, but safe in a good way, fun song to put in January where I can just feel good, you know, feel kind of happy.
Just a sugary little treat.
Sugary little treat. Yeah. God, well put. Shout out to Delmonic. He is a huge Wua fan. I have listened to Wua a little bit in the past because of him, but this is the first song where it really just stuck in my head. I'm just like, yeah, this is it. But it is much different from their past stuff, like you said, Nina. Zondy, any closing thoughts on Wua?
My notes say, fun little guy, I don't know, not much to say. So that's all I have.
Fun little guy. I feel like that's a theme so far in the past two songs. Like a fun little guy with Woozy, and a fun little guy. And,
he is a fun little guy.
He is a fun little guy.
All right, let's move on to my song, my number 3 song for January. Sorry, 1 second. Let me pull it up. Okay, wait. So this is the surprise, I think, to all. Well, maybe not a surprise, just because I am kind of obsessed with at least half of this.
Oh, I know where you're gonna. Oh.
So we have Bam Bam with "Who Are You" featuring Seulgi. The main show would like to maybe argue, I think is the correct way to put it, that it's more of a collaboration where it's Bam Bam x Seulgi. Watching this music video a number of times over the past few days, the performance video, really digging into the song itself, it is very much a Seulgi complimentary song. They are in it together, but I think that goes into the theming of what the lyrics and the visual metaphors are trying to say. It is a love song, so there is some very down-tempo R&B ballad things going on, but the message is about reflecting yourself into somebody else. Who are you? Who am I? Is the idea. Because it's such a performance-heavy song, the thing that stood out to me most was the dancing. They did mention it's kind of difficult to see it in the music video, so you have to watch the performance video, but they do an excellent job of capturing it all. And a lot of the movement is an inversion of each other. So it's as if they're in a mirror, they're dancing next to each other, behind each other, but all their movements are inverted. I think that is a beautiful bit of storytelling. And I didn't really know what to expect from Bam Bam. I'm not the biggest GOT7 fan. I know their songs just enough. I know Bam Bam is Lisa's best friend because they grew up together. I know he's a great dancer. Musically, this one kind of hit me because I love R&B. So I am just all about like this kind of vibe. The main show had a lot of nice things to say about it, but ultimately they landed on this song not having enough sticking power because it might be too mellow. Even though it was a pre-release, I think for me, I enjoyed this more than his other song that came out this month, Slow Mo. But I also feel like it's a good 1-2 punch of 2 songs that he released in this album. Nina, I'll throw it to you. What'd you think about Bam Bam and Seulgi with Who Are You?
Yeah, on the topic of Bam Bam himself, I used to be, a decent GOT7 fan, but Bam Bam was not one of my favorite members. Not to say I disliked him, but I just never really vibed with him. I didn't think he was a very good rapper. But since GOT7 has started going solo, his stuff has been my favorite by far, which really surprised me. Like I said, maybe I just didn't know much about him. But yeah, no, his solo stuff so far, Ribbon was really catchy, Slow-Mo was catchy. This Who Are You is art. Seulgi, if I was going to pick a song and a concept that encapsulated Seulgi, it would be this. Like, I think the dance style, the vocals, like everything about it is just Seulgi, and she really owns it. People saying it's too chill or whatever like that. I don't know. I just think it's really beautiful. Yeah, like the chemistry between these two, I was not expecting. When Bam Bam posted a teaser picture with Seulgi, I thought that was, apparently they've been friends, but I was like, this is a weird pairing, but it's not. They worked really well together, and this song's great. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, I think, is the thing that I always come away with this song and this music video, just because it is an art piece, like you said. It's not the typical K-pop song, but it is presented that way. Where we got Seulgi. I don't think it got a stage per se, but I think it was promoted in a way where you knew it was coming within the same line of other K-pop songs. Zondi.
I thought it's technically a pre-release, right?
Yeah, pre-release. I think the full music video did surprise me a bit, because I would expect more of just the performance video, but we got the full thing. We got a lot of interesting art piece and set pieces. But Zondi, how did you feel about the song? Very chill song, but it's Bam Bam. We like GOT7. I think you're a pretty big GOT7 fan, from what I remember.
No, I'm not too big on those. I enjoy them.
Biff,
I'm thinking of your best friend. I'm so sorry.
You're thinking of Biff, though. But I'm a big fan of Red Velvet. The first time I watched the music video, I was like, this is sick. The music-wise, it didn't capture me too much. It's one of those songs that is more of... It's really performance-forward, I think. I don't think the song... the song is good, don't get me wrong. It's really well-produced, and it's easy to get lost in it. But I don't know, it's not something I would generally listen to. But every time I open the video, I kind of just sit there for 3 minutes and watch it. I'm like, damn, that was good. And I think I have to give massive props to the songwriters, because they were I don't know. I think the production was really complimentary to Silky's voice. Just like how like Crispy said, and the performance as well as I think is very complimentary to both of them. Like it works really really well as an entire piece. I really enjoyed it, and the music video is really beautiful. I don't know. I like the song.
No, it's one of those that I think is different enough from like primary releases in K-pop where it really stands out. But the song itself, I think it's a full package, right? Because Warren will mention occasionally that he puts the music ahead of the music video, the concept, and just everything else. But I think something like this, where it's an entire art piece where you have to consume it all together, I don't think there's a better way I could spend 3.5 minutes of watching these two beautiful performers doing amazing art together in this kind of way. So yeah, I'm just gushing about the song, guys. I'm gonna stop right here. All right, let's move on. Let's bring it back to the top to Nina, ma'am. What is your number 2 song for January 2022?
My number 2 song is a song that you guys probably also have on your list. Or at least one of you. And it is DM by Fromis9.
That is my number 2 song as well.
It did not make my top 3.
Oh, okay.
Are you?
I knew at least one of you would have it. Man, Fromis9. There's just something about Fromis, right? Like, they don't know how to make a bad song. They're so beautiful. I heard someone the other day say that they were saying, oh, Fromis isn't known for their vocals, but the vocals in this song, the girls are turning it out. I just think they get better every time, and I just want to see them do well because they've been giving us nothing but bangers. This one, as we've talked about, is produced by the same
Last one.
Thank you. The same team that did The Feels by Twice.
And Feel Good. And Feel
Good and Feel Special. Yes, the Feels trio. And I think DM especially has similar vibes to The Feels, but it's a little more chic, a little more grown up. Still has that disco vibe to it, but I don't know, man. There's something about Fromis and the way that they deliver things.
They're very glamorous.
Yes, thank you.
I feel all of those things as well. It is my number 2 song. I have loved a lot of Fromis9 stuff from
Were you going to say every and then you thought of Fun?
No, what was
Is that why you changed it?
What was the first song in their disco trilogy?
Fun.
I love Fun too.
Fun.
Feel Good.
Feel Good, yeah. So when that song came out, I was like, oh, they're doing disco. Oh, they're doing a real good. They're doing a real good. So then I became more of a fan. I will say I wasn't the biggest fan only because I just didn't give it a chance. I didn't listen to them very often because there's just only so much time in a day. But I will say over the past month or so, I've gone back and listened to everything in search of a bias, in search of a favorite person. I have found that person. This person currently has short hair. This person currently has many fan cams. I mispronounce this person's name all the time, but I'm just going to try to say it. Serum,
yeah.
Serum? Pepe hands, man. Pepe hands. Yeah. Just,
she is incredible.
This lady is just, she dances. She did a cover of Ariana Grande that I found. That Biff? Was it Biff? Was someone, one of you sent it to me? I died. I just couldn't. Yeah. With regards to this song, I echo everything you said about it being a lot more mature. Shout out to the production team, hitting kind of all the top disco songs over the past year and a half. And the disco trilogy between Feel Good, We Go, and DM, with Talk and Talk kind of being a side quest. It's a song. It's there. It's kind of fun.
I like Talk and Talk.
It's kind of fun, right? It's kind of fun, right? But the disco trilogy itself is just so appealing. It hits all the notes of the trend while doing things in a very specifically Fromis9 way. And the thing I can point out that is Fromis9 to me are the vocals. I think I have heard that as well, not just like in in Discord, but just in other places that Fromis9 has not been known for vocals. But seeing stages of DM, I'm like, wow, no, they have great vocals. Shout out to Haeyoung and hitting the Ariana Grande whistle notes. There are a few videos of them doing the end of music show stages where she's doing it, and it's just like, wow, this lady, this girl, she got it. She's trying real hard.
Yes, their encore stages have been quite good. That's where I was really like, wow, their vocal lines.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Zondy, it's not on your list, but what do you think about the song, and how did you feel about the crew loving the song as well? Because it's stuck around. It's all the way. It's got its second crown as of this week, and I think it's just one of those very consistent songs that is very appealing to the crew as well. How did you feel about DM by Promise 9?
Yeah, well, a few things. First of all, there's a reason why I picked the other song to go for number 3, is because this was my other alternate. And the other thing is, the day this came out, I had just listened to another song, which was ringing in my brain, and it was like, I couldn't get it out. So the first time I listened to this, it kind of passed me by, and I wasn't too hot on it at first. I was like, this is just kind of a song. But as the days passed, I listened to it more and more, especially since the album, I think, is really good. I listened to it more and more. I gave it a shot because Promise, in my opinion, has not had a bad title track. They have one of the tightest title track discographies in all of K-pop, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Shout Out's fun. I love that song. No, I'm kidding. I love that song, but also I understand why people don't like it. But yeah, this song eventually did grow on me. I do really enjoy it now. Just maybe not as much as the other songs on the rest of my chart. But it definitely is one of those songs that you listen to the chorus and you get like warm feelings inside. When the teaser pics came out, I think everyone collectively died. And
yeah, still not alive. But yeah, go
ahead. I had another note, but yeah, whatever it was, I think this was good. I in retrospect, I really do enjoy the song, and I just want more Promise all the time. Even though I am like a new fan of them, I don't know. They have some of the best. Love Bomb is one of the best songs ever written, and shout outs to DM. And the album. The album's really good. Escape Room, Hush Hush, Zero G, all amazing songs.
Escape Room, very good.
Yeah.
Escape Room, the first time I listened to that, my reaction was, what the fuck is this? This is amazing.
I think everything you said is a great big celebration for how K-pop can evolve and change within just one person, right? I think because there's just so much K-pop sometimes, it's hard to find the things that really resonate with you right away. Promise 9, great example for myself. I remember the thing I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Shout outs to Haeyoung's RBB note. She did the RBB.
Irene who?
That is a call out. That is a great call out. I have that.
I love RBB. I don't know why people don't like that. Sorry, sidetrack. RBB is a great song.
RBB is a great song.
RBB is great. It's one of those songs that people,
as usual, we all agree.
I know, God, who are you guys? Get out of my head. But I think it's one of those songs that is an easy talking point to be divisive, even though it's not necessarily the most divisive song like ever. But I think it's one of those where it's an easy sticking point for a lot of people that you can pick a side, right? Where it's like, do you have to pick a side? Can you just like it and be okay with it? I don't know, we're going on a tangent. But with DM, just to kind of close out this song, I think for me, what elevates the song even more, again, like I'm a very visual person, so the music video and pairing with this idea of being glamorous and being mature, the colors, the different ways they use the colors throughout the end of the music video, essentially in a room, painting the room and then shifting to being outside, painting the town. I think all of those things like complement really well with this idea of disco, chill disco. So, like mature partying, but then for them as a group. I don't know where that was going, But thanks Warren for all those words. Oh, the thing that Warren mentioned was it's muted. I think that's the one thing I do want to bring up with them. It's a muted version of disco that separates this song from the other two songs that they previously did, Feel Good and We Go. I think it's just an excellent progression for this group.
It is. The mutedness does kind of lend to the maturity we're talking about, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Promises is kind of heading in that more mature direction. Maybe it's the Pledis influence. Who knows? We can only speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Promise grow up quite a bit, because their debut was very schoolgirl.
Their debut was early G-Friend.
Yes, yeah, like Glass Bead, G-Friend. Yeah. And then going into, like Love Bomb and Fun, which were kind of like bright and colorful, but still really youthful. And now with this disco trilogy, we're seeing them become women. And it's very nice.
Yeah, we're going on the journey with them, which is kind of beautiful, right? I love it. All right, Zondy, sir, your number 2 track of the month.
My number 2 track is a very sweet song, as Warren would call it. It's Uju Sonyo Chokumi with Super Uppers.
Thank you.
Did you pronounce that correctly? Just want to check before you went on.
Crispy, I'm not saying choke me on the podcast.
I think you kind of just did. But so Uju Sonyo Chokumi. Tell me about Super Uppers. What is it about this high sugar candy song that has got you with cavities, sir?
My initial reaction the first time I listened to the song and watched the music video was they've done it again. Humph was extremely fun and stupid and funny and catchy, weirdly catchy. And Super Uppers just continued that streak of we're not going to take ourselves too seriously and we're just going to have a fun time. We're going to record a crazy, stupid music video where we're like vigilante superheroes. And we're also going to, music aside, completely music aside, it's just like a hilarious song. There's the interlude where Dayoung just decides to go full Sailor Moon. I don't know. It's everything I dreamed of ever since, Orange Caramel and Crayon Pop have stopped releasing tracks. And I think they've got the perfect girls to do it. I think, contrary to maybe what they said on the podcast, they do an amazing job of like not taking it seriously at all, which is the point. And I don't know. Every time they perform it, whenever they just seem to be having so much fun, and I really enjoy that more than anything. And the song itself was good enough that I don't really care.
So Nina, my question for you is: does this unit of 4 pretty kind of amazing Uju Sonyo girls fill the void of this type of K-pop, right? Where it's very self-aware, where it's very much a meme, kind of a troll song. I don't think we've had very many of these songs over the past year and a half. How do you feel like Chokome fills this gap for K-pop?
Yeah, I have been saying recently that a lot of new K-pop takes itself maybe a little bit too seriously. And we need someone to bring the fun back to K-pop. And that's definitely what these girls are doing. Dayoung, obviously, it's like she created this concept. And Dayoung especially, as someone who's watched the Cosmic Girls from the beginning, she has just gained so much confidence and really come into herself. And it's amazing to see her having so much fun on stage. They do this so well. They're campy and they know it. And yeah, the stages, so much fun to watch, and shout out to their stylists because the stage outfits have all been so unique, but so cute. And it's just been like, I've watched every stage of this song because it's just so good. They're having so much fun and they look so good. And thank you, Chocomi.
They are leaning into the Magic Girls in a way where it's like, yes, we know this is absurd, but we're going to have the most fun with it. And thank you to our company, Starship. right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to be really fake right there. That they allowed them to do such a thing. Because I mean, IVE is right behind them. IVE, correct? I'm not wrong, right? Right behind them. So it's just,
Yes.
it just really, I think it's a great confluence of events that you have these four specifically. We've shouted out Dayoung a million times. I'm gonna do it one more time. She is anime girl, and we love it. I think she herself has encapsulated this, not just physically, but just the way that she expresses herself on her face. I know it's a really plain way to say it, but every time you see her in character in front of a camera, she's in it, right? She's experiencing the concept and she's just giving the fans and giving the people what they want, but in a way where I feel like it's very sincere. And I think that's what's just the most appealing thing for me about the song. My favorite collaboration video is actually with Dayoung and Wonho. So they do, they do the choreo.
Yes.
It's really good. Wonho is huge. He takes up 2/3 of the camera, and yet he's doing all of it. I'm just like, wow, I'm impressed. Very nice.
Dayoung, the hardest working TikToker in the business.
Truly.
Oh yeah, no, the girls pumped out so many, and so many of them were Dayoung.
Yeah.
She has to be in the triple digits by now. She started duetting fans.
Yes.
Like she's cracked.
Yes.
She's a one-woman promo machine.
She's a Sigma grind setter is what she is.
Yeah. Rise and grind.
All right. Well, I gotta throw the last thoughts to Zondy here. So you have a favorite member of Cosmic Girls who's also part of the alternate.
I didn't. Does he have a bias? I didn't know.
I don't know how you pronounce the name. I always mess it up.
You always somehow manage to screw it up.
Can you enlighten? Can you illuminate who this person is and why you love her? And finally, how you feel like she did with this release, Super Yuppers.
I mean, I think out of all the Uju Sonia members, like I said, they picked the 4 best members, and one of them just happens to be Luda. And I am obviously a big fan of hers. Since debut, I was a big fan of her specifically, as well as the rest of the group, obviously. And yeah, no, I think she did a really good job. She's obviously not going to be, maybe not obviously, but she's not going to be in the spotlight for these tracks, but she does an amazing job of playing her part.
Very complimentary to the group. I think they have a great balance also. I think the 4 of them, nobody overshadows anyone else. I think Dayoung absolutely you just want to look at her because she encapsulates the concept, but I don't think anyone else falls behind too far. I think because it's 4, it's very easy to digest, very accessible, and you do eventually get to know them if you do follow the release. And I do have a favorite. I mispronounced her name. Starts with a Y.
It's Nina's favorite too.
Yoram.
Thank you. Also my favorite.
You are the best. Yeah.
Oh my god, she just dyed her hair like this beautiful ginger. Oh,
I love it. It's
stunning.
So good.
Yeah. She's been how many different hair colors in the last month? But
6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
More or less. Shout out to girls dyeing their hair, because that is a commitment and that is a sacrifice for their future hair. So
thanks. I just dyed mine yesterday.
Shout out Nina.
Wow, Nina, we gotta see a. We're not gonna promise anything, but if you want to just show a photo of the hair, just the hair, I think we can find a way to include that somewhere for all the fans to see, because you have a lot of fans. All right, I think it's my turn, right? So my I went number 2. So I have an ultimate. This is perfect because I'm just gonna say it. We've got the girls. They are on top. It's Step Back. Man. All right. So when it got announced, I was kind of, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, these are all females who are very powerful, who are great singers, dancers, who have spent the time of over a decade. For me, maybe 1/10 of my lifetime, because I'm almost 100. For most, older than most. So to seeing them all put together and then the release finally coming out, when I first heard the song and watched the music video, a bit jarring, because I initially compared it to NCT, kind of just the strange like bassy hip hopness of it all, but then really diving into the song, letting it sink in a couple of times, it's kind of incredible that they were able to do such a very convoluted, I think is a good way to put it, but in a way that showcased all the members. I mean, you have I have the list. I'm scrolling. You have Boa, Taeyeon, Hyoyeon, Sulgi, Wendy, Karina, Winter, and they found a way, at least within the song and the music video, to showcase them. I did feel like I got a little bit of everyone. The visual dance line, Boa, Hyoyeon, and Sulgi definitely felt like they were the main attraction. But then Karina opens the song, and she's also got a couple rap sections. I'm just like, girl, pretty good. Yeah, there's just a lot happening here. Let me throw it to Nina. Nina, how'd you feel about this song? How'd you feel about this song kind of being a thread from the NCT sound that SM is known for? And then just ultimately, how do you feel about them all coming together? This is the A team of SM girls. The A team. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I'm, as a former, well, like an all-time Sonyeoshi Day fan, I would say former, but obviously, it's just, it's the female Super M that we've all been praying for, but like next level. I'm obsessed with this instrumental. I know for a lot of people, it's pretty jarring. I love it. I think it's so cool. I wish sometimes that the vocals were a little more interesting. Sometimes there's certain points where the vocals are all kind of the same. Like we're sitting to the same note. We're doing a little bit of shouting. I don't know. I wanted a bit more from the vocals, maybe. I don't really know what to describe.
you didn't
I know what you
point,
mean.
though. Yeah. Warren, I think, brings it up that the vocals could have been a little bit more dynamic, that they all sounded a little too similar because all of them do sing similarly between Taeyeon and Wendy specifically. I think they sound the same in a lot of parts.
You can hear that SM vocal training for sure.
Yeah, it's all. It sounds like Yu Young-jin is singing it, right? And it sucks because on any other day you listen to Taeyeon, Wendy, Sulgi, Winter, and Boa, and they're all singing, and you can tell which one is which, just like off the top of your head, right? But when I listen to this song, it does feel like I don't really know who's who. Which sucks, because they got all the best. Like I've been a sucker for anything SM my entire life, and everything. It's they want this to be like a culmination of all their stuff. It kind of just feels. I felt a little let down, especially with respect to the emotions that I was feeling when I saw the initial teaser pic on Instagram. I was like, what the fuck is happening? But I mean, I'm with Nina. I think the instrumental is really, really good. It's definitely grown on me. Where, I don't know, it's like just a funny little sub bass that's like portamento. It's like sliding all over the place. And these like weird dissonant strings up above. It's really, it is definitely, I think, like you said, Crispy, like Warren said, it's like an extension of the NCT sound. But maybe the writing, maybe the the production direction that they were heading in didn't really lend to, pushing what makes, some of the people in this group some of the best vocalists in K-pop. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna argue, but like Wendy and Taeyeon are up there. And you should be able to tell who's singing at any given moment, but you can't, and it sucks. It sucks. That's all I got.
No, I agree with that sentiment in the sense that I think the song itself is a very fast-paced song. There are a couple slowdown parts, especially in the last third of the song, where they do switch it up, and I think that's also kind of where it flourishes, where you give a few rap sections with a few dance breaks, and then it kind of mellows out some of the shouting that we kind of agreed on. And like a metaphor for me when I heard the song is it feels like a race, and they're running a relay, and they're just handing off to the next person with a lot of intensity, right? It's just a lot of quick feelings, right? Things moving very fast to the point where it's just all very escalated. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. And I think that's kind of where it falls a little bit short in the sense that all of the vocals did sound similar in that sense. But as far as the package and putting it all together, I think just seeing it, it puts me in a place where I can overlook some of the shortcomings, understanding that it is a group project. So our project specifically, right? Hopefully that means that the next iteration of it will have a more, I don't know, a song that does a little bit more, that's a little bit more dynamic, that at least showcases the members in a different way. But I think for a first entry, with this group of 7, I believe it's 7. I'm counting 7.
I think it's 7, yeah.
That they, can kind of progress from this point, right? I think they did mention on the main show that there are going to be other members of SM, the SM girls, who and in what capacity and how. I'm excited now. Just like we still got some Irene, got some Yeri, got some Joy.
I'm ready for the Yeri Joy unit.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Then who's left in SNSD? Can we call?
There's 5 girls in OGG. So
can we call Tiffany? It's like, hey, you're pretty popular still.
She'd probably do it.
Right? She probably would, yeah.
God, I think it's a good start to the year with this. Just this very like creative, experimental. The thing that they described on the main show is it's the Gregorian chorusing, which is like, okay, yeah, that is super unique. I think that is what's going to at least stick in my memory for this song, and I can kind of overlook kind of the shortcomings, knowing that more music will come for the rest of the year from them. Nina, any closing thoughts on Girls on Top?
Yeah, just 2 things. One, you're talking about the slowdown in like the second half. Those are definitely like, there's the one leading into the dance break. I think it's Boa and Winter. That's great. And then there's like a second one with Silgi and Taeyeon. Those are definitely like, those are the ones where you can really hear like, yes, that's that's what I wanted to hear. That part is great. And I just wanted to shout out Boa. Like, as we were sitting here, I was watching the performance video, and like, she is it. Like, there's a reason.
Yeah. Sorry, they were saying on the show that she debuted before Karina and Winter, which also means by extension that she debuted before I was born, which is crazy.
Yes. Boa was 13, 14. It was the year 2000.
Was it 13? I think I remember somewhere that it's 13, but I also could.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a reason. I mean, the girl has 2 decades of performing experience, and you can tell she's the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is probably some kind of minority owner in SM herself. So shout out to her for just hanging out with the kids, the youths, the Winter and Korea.
Thanks for babysitting.
For real. Oh man, this song, just all of them. If you haven't seen the performance video, watch it because it's just a full stage. Them in their outfits.
You need the performance video for sure.
God, my brain just I can't. And Nina, final song for you. What is your number 1 track for January 2022?
Okay, can I just interject and say I think we all might have this number 1 track.
I was just gonna say I think we all have the same number 1.
This is gonna go by rather quickly, but I do have some extra stuff. So
okay,
hit us with our number 1 song.
Number one Zondy Nina Crispy Song of January is Smiley by Yena featuring BB.
Very soon.
I knew it. Yeah.
Very much
I knew it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Do us the honors. What do you love about it? Why is she the best? Why is BB also the best?
Just 2 best girls being the best. Oh man, Yena. We were talking a bit on the court about how Yena, she's just in IZ*ONE. She was the mood maker. She's here to make you smile. So for her to debut with this song, with this concept, it makes you smile. Like, what can you do? I think it's so catchy. It has a bit of that, like a bit of pop rock to it. Some people talking about like maybe, I don't know. It's the chorus itself. It has a bit of a pop rock feel to it, and I was a huge pop rock fan in my early teens, pop punk, and just everything about the music video, the lyrics, the vocals, BB playing the villain. How can you not have a good time with this song, with this video, with the choreography, and with this girl?
Zondy, please continue. Why do you love her so much? Because I do.
Yeah, I mean, my list is very much biased, but I think it's super justified, so I don't really care. And I think I mentioned earlier that when I first listened to the Promise track, I was, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Was this track where it was in my head, and it's like some of my favorite K-pop tracks of all time. I like to think of, or I've, dubbed to other people as dopamine farms, and this is definitely a dopamine farm song. Like, you listen to it, and it's just like, and especially with the performances, the stages, and as well as the music video, it's just such a great extension of Yena's personality as we know her from IZ*ONE, just like Nina was saying. I think BB's feature was an amazing foil to Yena's character, as well as just very, like, raw musically. Her voice, BB in her low register, contrasted with Yena, who is, like, really singing up there for most of the song. All of this, I mean, it all just works together so well to make this definitely my favorite title track of the year so far. The pre-chorus to the song also has the same woozy effect of it sounds like you're plugged into a guitar amp, is the best way I can put it, which might not be very descriptive for people who have never plugged a mic into a guitar amp, I imagine. But it's the same kind of high pass filter where it's like that muted Harry Styles sound. I really like it. It's maybe blending towards the pop rock elements as well as the guitar that drives the chorus. It's so good. It's so catchy. Also, this is my favorite title track of the year so far. Track 3 on the EP. I need to shout it out. I'm so sorry. I need to talk about it. Luck to You is the best song ever written. It's so good.
Yes.
It's so,
the mini
so
is
good.
so good.
The mini is amazing. Luck to
you.
The first time I listened to it, I say this a lot. The first time I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. The intro, like the first part where it's kind of the synthesized vocals playing, like there's like these gorgeous chords, and then they go into the guitar, the rhythm guitar, and the chorus is so well written. It reminds me, I said this at some point, of early Paramore writing, except a bit more upbeat because it is Yena. It's everything all at once. I love Luck to You. I love Smiley. Thank you, Yena. And thank you to the production team.
LXXK #2 Look it up on Spotify now. It's so good.
Seriously, if you haven't listened to it, I beg and plead. It is actually just an amazing song.
Mm-hmm.
So this exercise, this is for all the audience listeners, all of us. I can't speak. I told them we would reveal the songs as a surprise to each other. We had no prior knowledge of anything that was going to happen to the show. I was hoping certain songs were going to be brought up. I was almost assured that this song was going to be on our list at some point. And as we continued the conversation, it became very apparent that it was number one for all three of us. For all the reasons already said by Nina and Zondy. I love the song. I love the way that you guys talked about it. I think the contrast between BB and Yena is a great refresher in the middle of the song, because I think Warren did mention it. A song like this can fall into the trappings of being too cheesy, too much of this happiness in your face. It's like, you got to be happy. Like, I'm Yena, I'm going to save the day, make everyone happy. But it doesn't do that to an over extent. It hits that point and it pulls it back, and then it allows the music, the edgy pop punkness, to kind of balance all of that out, because it can be a little bit too cheesy, right? And I think all of those things play really well with how she presents herself as a performer. She does a lot of the cool rock movements, but then it's got some really cool choreo, got a lot of smiling. And I think, like you said, the way that she uses the instruments with, or at least the production team uses the instruments with her voice, complements really well with kind of the theming of, this concept of who Yena is. I think me coming into it, not the most knowledgeable IZ*ONE fan. I mentioned this on a show with Joe Cab. I knew IZ*ONE. I didn't know them. I knew Yena. I didn't watch a lot of Yena prior to this. Safe to say, I watched a lot of Yena after this. I watched all the stages. I watched her show, her web drama she did, The World of My 17, season 2. I love that show. I love season 1. It has Arin from Oh My Girl. Yena now plays that main character equally, amazingly, and it's such an encapsulation of not just the show, but this song and who she is as a person. And I feel like all of those elements played really well to characterize her in entertainment. And I think for me, I haven't had this type of mental connection with an artist and the personality for a long time. I think that's what kind of makes it really special to me. With the song itself, the thing you said, Zondy, about being a dopamine hit, what was your
Farm.
Yes. There are times when life does get you down, and I'll say it, like I have my down days too, but then I'll listen to the song and I will be overcome with a rush of very positive, feel good thoughts and emotions. And it's corny and cheesy, but I think that's kind of the power of music. Sometimes you kind of just need something to help you get by in that moment. And I think Yena, I sound so sappy, but I feel like Yena has done that for me, and I really do appreciate and love the fact that she has done that. I totally don't dance to the choreography every time I hear it. Totally don't know it at all. But I watch stages. They're all fantastic. I do want to touch on Luck to You, because that's a bonus note I had. Again, we didn't plan any of this, guys. It's just all organic. Luck to You, a bonus track for all of you to listen to. It's amazing. It's very Paramore-y, like Zondy said. It does start off with the chords, and it pulls you in, and it's this idea of peace out, old boyfriend or old person I'm in a relationship with. Like, I'm good without you. Get out of here. And I think it's a nice switch up from a smiley to Luck to You, thematically doing different things, but musically flows back and forth together really well. We talked a lot about Yena. We could talk for another 2 hours if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But
I could go over Yena all day. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it to Nina to close us out. Nina. So we've got Yena. Zondy, this is Zondy's favorite song of the year. Safe to say it's probably going to be one of my favorite songs of the year. Mm. If there's a message that you want to project forward with this song, kind of moving forward to the rest of the year, what would that be? Kind of like, what are some of the themes you're pulling from the year that will help, from the song that will help you throughout the rest of the year?
Oh man, sometimes you just got to farm that dopamine. It's, January especially can be tough. And, some people might say that this song is, too upbeat, too sugary, whatever, but it's just the perfect amount of optimism and motivation for me. And this is what I come to K-pop for, is exactly this song.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is a really good combination of having fun with K-pop, having a message, but also attaching to the character of who the artist is. Because I think that's what makes K-pop special, right? Where, we do have access to the artists a little bit more than we do in the West, because we see their journey in totality. We see them as trainees, we get vlogs, we get side content, and,
especially with Yena, because both produce, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We saw it all. So it's just a nice peek into their creative process and kind of seeing how it runs parallel with our own experiences. I think for me, this song is just one of those pick-me-ups that I will go back to very often throughout the year. And I'm very thankful that the song exists. Thankful for you two for putting it at number 1 as well. So just to recap, so we've got Nina's top 3, with Woozy, Ruby, Promise 9 with DM, and Yena featuring BB with Smiley. Zondy's top 3 is Woozy, Wujusonyo Chokumi. I'm bad at pronouncing things. With Super Yuppers and Yena. And then for myself, I have Bam Bam featuring Solgi with Who Are You? Number 2 is Promise 9, and number 1 is Yena. So yeah, that is our top 3, guys. Gosh, what a ride. On the main show, we do the Soju chart here, so we have input. We vote. The Gochu gang gets to vote every week for songs to be put on the show, and then a top 3 of songs to win it all, to win the chart.
Oh wait, can I just say, I am super surprised Wadada was not mentioned, Nina.
Oh yeah. Well,
my 2 alternates were Super Yuppers and Wadada. Those were my next in the top 5. So
we went first every time.
Yeah, exactly. So no alternates.
Yeah.
But if we get into some honorable mentions, I'd love to see Crispy do the choreography again, actually.
About that was a pre-production meeting kind of situation. We don't talk about that. But we'll throw that into the Soju chart this month. So January had 4 weeks of Soju chart. There was a week off from the main show. Shout out to Anita for feeling better and making it back. We love you, Anita. Some carryover at the beginning of the month from December and all the way to the end. A lot of variations and things. Let's talk about Wadada a little bit here. So it did make the Gochu gang, the patrons, Soju chart. It did quite well the first week, but kind of fell off, I'd say. Was that surprising to you guys that a song that catchy, that fairly general audience friendly, had its run at the beginning of the month and then fell off, and then the crew actually not really connecting with the song? Or was that kind of typical for what you think about the trajectory of that type of song? Nina, start us off.
I always joke with Zondy, but this is, I like to close my eyes and pretend that this is a Pristine song. Pristine being one of my favorite girl groups of all time, who's sadly no longer with us. And this song was co-written by Shannon, or Sungyeon, who was a member of Pristine. So when you close your eyes, you can imagine it as a follow-up to Woo and We Like, kind of closing out. So that's kind of my personal takeaway from this one. But I've seen Kepler's divisive, especially on the SojuTalk Discord. A lot of people weren't happy with the final lineup. A lot of people who watch Girls Planet. So I think that's part of. There were some things said. So I think that's part of what plays into in the SojuTalk court, especially. There's a lot of mixed feelings about Kepler. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, I think it ended up being a lot of people really liked it and a lot of people really didn't, from what I saw. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun, catchy song. It gets stuck in my head constantly. I'm a big fan of the girls. I think they're doing great. But I guess I can see why maybe it hasn't stuck with some people. I don't know. I think it's catchy. I think it's a lot of fun. The kids on TikTok love it. It's popping off on K-pop TikTok. So I think we got good things coming from Kepler. If Wadada wasn't your thing, I expect good things from them.
Yeah, I think it did a nice job being an earwormy introduction song for the group, right? I think, like you said, it popped off really well on TikTok. It's got some choreo that's very easy to learn. Not saying that I learned it, but I'm saying it's easy to learn. Zondy, I have a feeling you have some contrary ideas. What did you think about the song, and kind of where do you stand with Wadada and Kepler?
Well, the reason Nina jokes with me about it sounding like a Pristine song is because whenever I listen to it, I definitely hear Pristine. It is like an extension of we like kind of vibe. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't know what it is. I wish I could put it into words. But it, out of those songs, it maybe would be my least favorite. I like it more than We Like.
Oh.
I like it more than We Like, but I don't know. I'm not too big on it. It's fun, I guess. I don't know. I like the girls. The girls are cool. I enjoyed the show. Not as much as other Pretty seasons, maybe. Especially with how the ending went. I'm kind of super duper lukewarm on it. I see both the reason why there was some positive reception towards it initially, as well as why it did kind of fall off plus L plus ratio after like a few weeks. But I don't know. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah,
The song reminds me of Pristine. Rest in peace.
yeah, it is one of those songs that just gets stuck in your head. That's if you're a person who doesn't listen to K-pop like 24 hours a day. Yes, there are people who do that. We have the receipts, Wolf. That
he listens to Adele for a couple hours.
Get it right.
Fair enough. But you listen to a song like this, and it's kind of just a song that hits in your head and just in your memory just for a moment, right? And I think that's why it does a nice job of sticking in your head, being earwormy, catchy, and then kind of wisp away into whatever it needs to be next. And I think that is kind of a positive thing for Kepler, because then hopefully they can move forward. The crew mentioned it's somewhere in between Dream Girl and La Vie en Rose. So,
which is a pretty big gap.
It's a pretty big gap.
There's a pretty gargantuan gap, if I do say so myself.
I would say it's probably further away from La Vie en Rose than closer to La Vie en Rose. Let's just say that. Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's characterized well. We know the members, we know the show, we know how they were all put together. And again, it's the beauty of Produce. You get to know them prior to debut, so you do form an attachment to them, whatever they end up doing. Whether it's good or bad, which is all subjective. So I was a little, maybe not bummed out, but surprised that Super Yuppers had, a bit of popularity on the server specifically. So the Gochu Gang, by a wide margin, voted it number one for the week of January 12th, and then completely fell off for the rest of the month. I was a bit surprised. I wasn't so sure exactly how to take that. I like the song just fine, but I understand if other songs came in, specifically Promise 9 and Yena, took over that gap of genre for people. Zondy, what did you think about Super Yuppers falling off when Promise 9 and Yena came out?
I feel like it's one of those songs that it works best as a talking piece and not a song like on its own, if you know what I mean. It definitely had its moment in the server. As a fan and someone who enjoyed it a lot, I'm definitely going to be revisiting it throughout the year, but I definitely see why people wouldn't. Because once you kind of get past the point where every day you're talking about the different stage outfits or the different thing they did on stage, it's just the song that's, maybe not as good as other songs, Yena and Promise songs that, yeah, I don't know. It's I think it worked best for most people as a talking piece, and it's past that point, so no big deal. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the fun, fluid nature of K-pop, right? Where things come and go, things move very quickly, but it's up to you to decide how long you want to experience something or keep it in your life. For me, I like the song just fine. It's on a playlist that I continue to listen to. It's one of those songs that, because it's so different from the rest of the songs in the playlist, it always catches my attention to really listen to it and pay attention. And I have both the songs on that playlist. The title of the second song escapes me. I can't remember it. But that song is also equally absurd and ridiculous. Let's end off the Soju chart with February 1st, which is a bit, I think it was pretty standard, normal way it turned out. So Promise 9 getting their second crown. Hopefully they get the retirement, the Hollow Spice next week. But Moonbyul sneaks in at number 3. Nina, any surprises for the start of February for the Soju chart for you?
It was a bit interesting to see Warren having Pentagon in second. I kind of get it. I think the Pentagon song is fun. It's funky. Pentagon have been consistently releasing above average songs, but not my favorite songs, but they're doing well. So good to see the shout out. Obviously Moonbyul very popular with actually, you know what is surprising is seeing Moonbyul take third, I think, from the Gochu Gang, considering the Mamamoo fan base we have on there. But Yena is just that good. She's just that good.
I'm really curious. So I didn't specifically like pull this out, but I do remember just from the top of my head that Yena, the week of the break, did not poll very well. I think it was like second.
I think it was
third.
flipped. I think
Right.
Moonbyul was first and Yena was third.
Oh yeah. It was a flip chart, and then we got back to Yena first, the way things should be.
And then maybe the next week, all sad, and we all had to listen to Yena more. Maybe that's what happened.
And I think that goes to
our charts did the same. The three of us had the same chart this past week. We didn't change.
Yeah, I'm not a snake.
Yeah, the three of us, we totally don't think alike. This show totally doesn't make any sense. No, I think it has a lot to do with kind of the longevity of songs and how you allow a song to live for a little over a week or perhaps over 2 days. The time that the Moonbyul song came out, I'm sure it was very exciting for a lot of people. Then the way that the Yena song stuck around. Shout out to her marketing team and just getting her out on all the TikToks and all the collaborations. I think that helped a lot. And I think Biff helped a lot reposting everything. But also,
every time she does one with an IZ*ONE member, I die a little bit on the inside.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. But I think it goes to show how a song remains in people's consciousness, right? Where perhaps that first week, things shifted a little bit, and then it came back. Where Yena, Promise 9 were again top 2 for a lot of just the regular general audience listeners on the Soju Talk Nation Discord. Which, I think it's a cool trend, and then I'd like to see like maybe a statistical analysis. Maybe you could do such a thing because you are the sociology person, Nina, the social science person. But yeah, I'm always curious on how these trends ebb and flow throughout the week, and I think that was a nice natural experiment that there was a break for us to see the flip in the chart, at least as far as the Soju Talk Nation goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, like I listened to Lunatic. I thought it was fun, but I think after that first week, I didn't come back to it. So I can see what was what was going on.
I enjoyed
it's a
the
good
song. It's just the worst version of the song with the same name.
Oh, the orbit speaks. Well, Nina, Zondy, that was music for January 2022. That was this month in Soju Talk Music. You guys killed it. You guys did excellent. Let's move into our closing thoughts, our monthly check-in. Zondy, how you doing? You were here last month to talk about December music, and now you're here again, and I love to see you. I love to hear from you. How are you doing now? And kind of what's the outlook moving forward for February?
You're never getting away from me, Crispy. I'd say it's been a good month for me. I mean, I had my exams for most of it, which kind of sucked, but my exams. I had my exams. What I really mean is I learned my entire modules in the span of 2 days and somehow got away with it, which sucks because it means I'm going to keep doing it. But, I think the exams went well. They're over now. I don't have to worry about them. I've been chilling, mostly just, getting back into the grind and working again. My exams are finished and I'm working on coursework. Such is the life of a uni student.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to K-pop and other music.
Nice.
I've been listening to Luck to You by Yena. It's a good song.
performance video.
I've heard that as well. I've heard that it's a good.
Oh,
song.
performance video. I just want to say one thing about the performance video. She has a guitar. She has super long fingernails. Clearly not playing it, but at least it's plugged in. Obviously, she's not playing it because they're playing the fucking original track over all of the entire band that they got together to record the performance video, which is hilarious. Also, good job. They actually plugged in the guitar. That's it.
Yes. Shout out to the plugged in guitar. Shout out to all the neon. Kind of the dark shadows.
Oh, it's so cool when they turn off. It's at the end of the Smiley performance video as well, where they turn off the lights and they have the glow in the dark tape as well as all that stuff. But yeah, the Yena and the Promise albums have really been carrying this year for me so far, I think.
Yeah, kind of remarkable that those two albums just by themselves have made up so much of my listening and your listening habits over the past month. Nina, how you doing? How's life? How was January and how are you feeling about February?
January has been just constant snowstorms here on the East Coast. So, and on top of that, we're still pretty high level lockdowns here. So I've been spending a lot of time inside. And listening to Yetta and Promise and kind of a random Kim Yohan of WeI. He released a pretty good mini. The title track Dessert is just okay. The rest of the song's pretty good. That's just another random shout out. Yeah, I been pretty boring. I'm on, I think, my 4th playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, going for 100%. So I've been working on that since January 1st. And I'm at about 50%. So check in with me next month and see how that's going. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So it's just like a comfort game that I return to when I'm stuck inside without much else to do. But yeah, shout out to Yena for being a ray of light during the most depressing month of the year, probably.
It's getting dark later again, which is good.
Yes, we have passed the shortest day of the year, so
let's
it's
go.
all let's go.
Yeah, it's again, I think it's kind of great timing that Yena released that song and that EP in January, mid-January, when it's a slog to get through that this time of year, whether it's the weather or the snow, depending on where you are in the world, things could be a lot more difficult. East Coast and Canada, you folks over there, you guys are powering through. I know the UK is just always cloudy, so I'm sorry, Zondy.
It was a beautiful day today.
Oh, nice. Well, because the weather knew. It's like, oh, you're talking about Yena, you're gonna record about her. Okay, well, here's some sunshine to match your mood and your energy.
For real.
But yeah,
she is a superhero.
Truly. Imagine her flying down into our presence. I can. Now my brain stopped. But I feel like this episode might as well just have been the Yena episode again, because we just have so much to say. I mean, honestly, it is one of my favorite things I've listened to in a long time. I tend to listen to full EPs and albums. This is one I've been going back to, genuinely going back to, not just streaming overnight. I don't do that sometimes. I listen to it throughout the day and I'm just like super enjoyed. It's super enjoyable and I'm just very happy, and it does add to the environment of positivity and energy and light. What was she known for? The happiness virus.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Happy virus.
Happy virus.
Yeah.
See, I was one. I totally know that. And then watching her show, The World of My 17 season 2, because that just ended also at the beginning of January. Have you seen it, Nina?
No, I haven't, but I should. I should watch it.
Biff says he didn't watch season 1 and he loved season 2 just fine. So you can do that. It's great.
I mean, I also like Aaron, so
All right, so I'm repeating myself. I'll say it again. So I told this joke, Ab. The character of Nari is very specifically like this very like awkward kind of ugly duckling, like weird like girl, right? So Aren does a nice job playing Nari. Yena does a nice job.
Sorry, she plays an ugly duckling character.
It's supposed to be yes, yeah. That is kind of yeah.
The confusion.
Yes. And then Yena plays Nari really well, so they both capture Nari, but Nari is Yena IRL is how I see it, because that's not Arin. Arin is a little bit more composed and actually kind of like stuff brain. Soju, she drinks soju. She's okay. But yes, Yena is very much Nari. Check it out. I'm just blabbering now. As far as January, I will say it just very lightly. California is what you think of it, just relatively sunny. So I have been able to go outside and take walks. I think that's been very helpful for like myself, just to get away from the computer, and seeing friends and new friends has been a great way to start the year. And I think I just made an intentional choice to do that more often, because I think November, December, I was very much introverted away from people. And I was like, I'll start the year where I'm actually trying to see people. So it's been going well in that sense. And, spending a little bit less time confined to my thoughts has helped me a lot in a lot of ways. So I hope to do that more in February. In February, I have, is it one wedding? I have a wedding in February and I have a wedding in March to go to. So hopefully the Omicron chills the F out. And that is what I'm looking forward to the next couple of months. Guys, you guys are both great. You guys are excellent. You guys are adorable. Luminous beings are both of you. And I couldn't thank you enough, Zondy and Nina, for joining the show. Any closing thoughts, Zondy, before we head out here?
Yeah, I have some notes. It's the start of the year. I didn't get my predictions in. I just want there to be more hyperpop, please.
Yes.
Give me Charlie, XCX, Sophie, Espa, Yuppie, Yuppie. That's all I want. Thank
As
you very
the
much.
resident hyperpop fans of the Discord, that's all we're hoping for.
Please.
Yeah. More
other than
experimental.
Yeah, just go wild.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing the same shit. But actually, sometimes the same shit can be good.
True.
But give me the new shit too. Give me both of them.
Yeah, it's all the shit.
Yeah, the good shit.
The good shit. Nina, any closing thoughts for you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to February in K-pop. I gotta say, we got VV's, the G-Friend members are finally making their debut. We've got Taeyeon's full album. We've got Billy, yes, our girls, and A-Pink as well.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that. A-Pink.
Yes, so I think we have big things coming in February, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it.
You guys are so
Stream Billy
and up to date. Like I feel like I'm always playing catch up, because I'm always like,
we're just on the Discord constantly.
I just know things, Crispy. It's just like all in my head.
I mean,
I'm
truly.
I just can't help
the
it.
Ninapedia, as the kids have been calling me.
For real.
Really? Oh, all the kids that you're babysitting on Discord. Oh. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. Honestly, this hour and a half went by so fast. I'm just like, I just want to hang out with you guys all the time, but we do have to call it. Thank you for the amazing conversation, the monthly K-pop wrap up. Everyone, come say hi to us. Join us on Discord. It's a good time. Let's do the outro. I'll
Listen to Look to You by Yena.
Yes, listen to Luck to You by Yena.
Listen to Luck to You by Yena.
Yeah.
Yena, we love Yena. Yena ult. Signing out. Thank you for listening to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, episode 43. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify or your preferred podcast platform, and continue the conversation on the SojuTalk Kpop Podcast Discord. This has been the SojuTalk Nation for Nina, channeling her inner Suyeon, and Zondy, channeling his inner Luddy. This is Crispy. We love Yena. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.